the Seaick brothers make their debut in episode 5. And it was just kind of as far as I could tell, there wasn't really any backstory. There's not any explanation like where do they come from, how did they make their first appearance. They just kind of appeared when Gosei Blue was in one of his something heroic speech moments from the cockpit. You'll never defeat us, our willpower is stronger than yours kind of moments. That's pretty much all you need to know about the Seaick brothers. They just choose that particular moment to appear. So, first up is the Manta Header, and already there's a problem, because you see, manta rays do not have a single definable head. Just kind of, what you see right there is what you get. That's the head, okay? The wings are there, very nice little flexible wings, by the way, are there just to inform you that, yeah, this is a manta ray. That's all well and good. But you see, these are called headers for a reason, so I'm not entirely certain if the manta ray was the best choice for the first example of an accessory mecha. Or at least for the Goseiger line. But, I mean, hey, we'll go with it, because, I mean, when are we ever going to get a manta ray ever again in Super Sentai? So anyways, this is the Manta Ray Header. It has a cockpit for some strange reason, even though, well, none of the Goseigers ever board the brother headers. The large scoop-like mouth underneath, and the fins which divert water towards not only the mouth, but also towards their very hidden gills, which you can't see right here. Yeah. 2 independent wheels here, and 1 tied-in wheels back here. Got some nice detail underneath, which is different from the detail on the top. And I missed it. I missed it until only recently. It turns out, you know the thing I just said about this being the head of a manta ray versus the entire body? Well, it turns out there's a subtle sculpting detail to show it does in fact have a tail, which means this is the entire manta ray animal as opposed to just the head. Strange way to start out this line, huh? Next up is the Hammerhead Header. Hammerhead Header. Is it Hammerheader or Hammerhead Header? I think it's Hammerhead Header, so I don't know, English for the win. Anyways, this is the Hammerhead Header. And yes, as advertised, it actually is the head of an animal rather than the entire body that they kind of snuck in there, like the one I just showed you. So anyways, yes, this is the Hammerhead Header, complete with gills, molded in detail right there. And the mouth can open all the way for all your jaw's desires. And there's I don't know, are those missile launchers under there? Yeah, I can't tell what that is. I don't know what that is. But anyways. And I guess these are ventral fins, are hollow. And I will point out that of the 3 headers, the 3 Seaick brothers, this one is by far the heaviest. It'll tip over very, very easily. Either it'll tip over to the side, or it'll tip forward. So just be aware it is a bit on the front heavy side. As part of its gimmick, spring-loaded action. That's it for the Hammerhead Header hammer, that thing. And then finally we have the Sawshark Header, which is arguably the most detailed. It's definitely the longest of them all, and also the hardest to focus. Big toothy grin right here. That's as far as that mouth opens up. Unlike the Hammerhead Header, though, have we decided, is it Hammerhead Header or just Hammerheader? I'll find out by the end of this video. Unlike the Hammerhead, this one is not as front or top heavy as the other one. Right there. And then the special gimmick for this one is this rather large antennae up here. And oddly, these ratchet. I don't know why. So the clicking sound you hear is an intentional ratcheting they put in here. I don't know, maybe they're trying to like make a mechanical sound of some kind. But anyways, yes. And the ratcheting saw blades do not have any impact on the mouth. And that's it for the Sawshark Header. Unfortunately, at this point, I do not have the electronic tensoder, so there isn't really any point to me pulling out the Seaick Brothers Gosei card. But I do have the Gosei blaster, so I can show you this. Which all make the same sound effects both when you plug them in and when you pull the trigger. And as with the other headers from the DX Gosei Great, these don't make any different sounds when you hold down the trigger. Nothing. And then they make this sound when you remove them. And that's pretty much everything that the Seaick brothers can do by themselves. Oh, right. Oh. In order to combine the Seaick brothers with Gosei Great, we're going to have to make a few small modifications. Tilt the wings backward, hide the head to reveal this header attachment point. And then we're going to remove the shark header, put it on the right knee, remove the phoenix header carefully, and attach it to the left knee. So there, now it's ready. So we'll take the Sawshark header, attach it to the right arm, take the Hammerhead header, attach it to the left arm, and then we're going to take the Manta Header, attach it to the top there, and there you have Ciock Gosei Great. That should have been a little more centered, but I will go with it. Just for my own sanity, I'm going to remove the dragon sword just because it's difficult to hang on to Ciock Gosei Great. It's just the arms are so bulky and there's very little room for me to grab on anywhere. So just the dragon sword is supposed to be back there. Just I'm going to remove it for my own sanity. So please forgive me. So we have a pirate-themed helmet, which is appropriate considering this is the Seaick tribe we're talking about. Although I'm not entirely certain what pirates have to do with Tensou Sentai Goseiger. Oh well, just be aware that's not just an eye patch, that's actually a targeting scope that Seaick Gosei Great uses. And then we have the Sawshark attached to the left arm. You can easily access the attack feature on that. And then we have the Hammerhead Header, attached there. And now, because the wings have been folded back, Gosei Dragon's wings have been folded back, it means we can actually get the arms all the way back here. It actually increases the range of flexibility. I suppose that makes a bit more sense considering the hand-to-hand combat nature of Ciock Gosei Great. And it is... Ooh, it got stuck. There's a bit of a problem here. The wing has gotten caught on the wheels. So that's something to look out for. But anyways, Ciock Gosei Great is meant to be an increase in attack power, so it is kind of appropriate that you would have a little more flexibility with design. Although, again, not entirely certain what the pirate hat is for, but whatever. So that's it for Ciock Gosei Great. But wait, there's more! In episode 18, there was kind of an anomalous thing that happened. It didn't have anything to do with the plot of the episode, or really the plot of the series itself. It's just something that Gosei Blue threw together without notice, and none of the other Goseiger questioned it. So what we're going to do this time is we're going to remove the dragon, phoenix, and shark headers, Get them out of the way, put them off to the side, never think about them ever again. Then we are going to put the Manta Header on the right arm, the Hammerhead Header on the left arm, the Sawshark Header in the center, and there you have another Ciock Gosei Great. And if my research is correct, it appeared only one time in the series, and it's not mentioned in the box, it's not mentioned in the instructions, it's just, if you watch the show, then this happened. If you didn't watch the show, you would be none the wiser. And, you know, to be fair, you can attach headers pretty much anywhere you want to. That's kind of the whole point of having all these header attachment points. So this really isn't anything that you couldn't cobble together on your own at any given point. It's just, I think that's why they put it in the episode, was just to show it could be done. To show how much struggling the suit actor had to do when he was trying to swing his arms around and he kept bumping the nose into the monster stunt suit. That was funny. So yes, another Ciock Gosei Great. I'll be honest, I'm not entirely thrilled with the Seaick brothers. I think each one of them kind of has a couple of flaws or just things that just drive me a little batty. The first thing, with Sawshark Header, yeah, it's nice that they have the ratcheting thing here, but the kind of the obvious flaw is that thing right here, and you can see I've already overcome the flaw by just, you know, turning this thing, so no big deal. So why they felt the need to have this set up here, and believe it or not, it actually is awkward to have it mounted from the back and then turn it like this. Yeah, you can get it to be more smooth motion when you do it this way, but it just, I mean, is this a shark or an anglerfish? I can't tell. It's a predator either way, because it has, you know, it's got that toothy grin like right there and whatever. By the way, standing these guys up with their mouths open is not possible. Well, actually it is on this guy now that I think about it. You can't stand this guy up. Yay. I can understand a hammerhead. I guess it was necessary for them to be, to make an actual hammer or a mallet, I guess, out of this thing. I don't know. I'm not, like, I want to be offended by this, but on the other hand, I don't find it very attractive, so I'm just kind of, I guess kind of the positives and the negatives neutralize themselves on this one, so I guess I really don't have much to complain about with this guy. And I suppose my biggest problem here is that for being a manta ray, I mean, I kind of already said it. I was trying to be objective when I shot that footage earlier, but the entire animal is represented here, and you can see the curve and the end of the tail right there, the little club thingy or whatever it is, they got the end of the tail right there. So technically the entire animal is represented in this one header alone. As far as I'm aware, this is the only header in name that does that across the entire Tensou Sentai Goseiger lineup. So, I don't know, is that something to complain about? Not necessarily, but I do think that it is a betrayal of what they were trying to do. I mean, this is such a subtle detail. So subtle. And it's actually a subtle enough detail that they completely forgot to add the gills on this thing. Like, there's some ribbed structures up here. Do manta rays have the gills on? No, because they're the scoop, the mouth, the scooping mouth. The gills are on the underside, so I don't quite know what this ribbed structure is up here. But anyways, for this guy, there's a couple of I think this one's probably the most offensive of the three. This is kind of an odd gimmick. Like, they never, like, use it as a transformation or anything. It just kind of exists because they can. For the mechanism, if you don't push down fast enough, it'll actually deploy one at a time. And that's just the way the mechanism works on the inside. Whatever. That's not a big deal. I can live with that. However, there is something to point out. The connection is light enough, you can actually push it down manually. So I'm not entirely certain what they were trying to get by turning this into a spring-loaded function, as opposed to one where you could just move it manually yourself. So, whatever. I'm not entirely certain if I like the way the larger landing gear thingy on the front here, but one of the things that does bug me, and it's specific to Ciock Gosei Great, is A, the pirate thing, which doesn't really make sense because, I mean, when are pirates associated with this? You kind of expect this to be a pistol, or something like that, something that shoots, but it's not. So that's kind of weird. So like Pirate's hat with the wings, whatever. And then you've got the eye patch targeting sensor, just like they had on the Gundam F91, apparently. No, it wasn't the Gundam F91. It was the V2 Gundam. Yeah, that's right. It was V2 Gundam. What am I talking about? F91 didn't had something completely different. Anyways, but what I don't get is why pirates? Why not just a simple captain's hat? You know, a seagoing captain's hat. Why do they have to be pirates? That's kind of the thing I don't get. It's strange. I suppose if this wasn't a manta ray, you could say that these are all predators. I don't know, maybe it would have been kind of interesting to have a team of all sharks. Oh wait, I could fix that. Because I just so happen to have another shark sitting around. There's also a small bit of Super Sentai series trivia that I feel obligated to point out here. And that is shark, 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 all in the same series. You with your front heavy, that's going to drive me crazy. Now, whoa, that's pretty doggone incredible. I mean, blue shark and a blue shark and a blue shark, and it's a hammerhead, a Sawshark, and a generic shark. So that's pretty neat. That's pretty unique, right? Well, not quite so much. It turns out that 9 years earlier, in the 25th anniversary Super Sentai series, Yakuju Sentai Goseiger, they also had 3 sharks. They were Gao Shark, Gao Hammerhead, and Gao Sawshark. So there was a precedence for this, but they were pretty much just repaints and remolds of the same basic design, and they all formed a right arm. So not a lot of distinction there. Although in this particular case, I suppose it could be said that there is indeed a Sawshark Gosei machine and a Hammerhead Gosei machine. I mean, there's nothing against it. I mean, considering what another Ciock Gosei Great does for us, there's not really... Ooh, I forgot to drop the landing gear. There's not really anything that says you can't do that, or that these wouldn't officially happen. Okay, maybe they don't officially happen, but I mean, you get what I mean. 3 sharks in the same series is quite unusual, as is tipping over because your head is so big. Stop doing that. So I almost kind of wish that like the Manta Header had been what Gosei Blue's primary header and powers and stuff like that had been, and so that we could have had 3 sharks all at the same time. What would this have been? I don't know. Maybe you like fold this down, and then there's the mouth on the inside. Or that would be Ciock Gosei Great's head could have been in there, or something like that. I don't know. But on the other hand, if they'd done that, we wouldn't have had this lovely fin folding feature. So it's not exactly the best way to start at this admittedly very bizarre accessory mecha series, but it's not the worst one I've ever seen. I don't know, I don't know. Headers are still, like, just bizarre. I don't get headers. Why not just the entire animal? I mean, why did they have to do heads? But I suppose I'll save that for another time. Pirates that are heroes? I mean, the villains in the Balban, they were pirates, but they were very much villains. So pirates usually don't do very well in Super Sentai. I don't quite understand what they're trying to do here. I mean, don't get me wrong. It kind of looks nice. It's okay. I mean, they kind of got the pirate hat thing, the admiral's captain's hat, whatever this would be called. They kind of got that right, and they've got a cutlass. I get that. I get some kind of sword, I guess. Whatever. By the way, I should point out, why is it that the Sawshark and Hammerhead headers have little rocket pod whatchamacallits on the side of them when Gosei Shark already has them? So it's like, now you're doubling up on them. It's kind of a weird thing. Anyways, small beans. And then you've got a mallet. I'm not again, I kind of wish, like, if you're going to go for a pirate theme, I would have expected a cutlass and a pistol of some kind, or some kind of pistol gun, not a rifle, because well, what do I know about pirates? But just, I understand they wanted to do a hammerhead. I get that, and that's all well and good. But if you insist on doing a pirate theme, by the way, is it just me, or not that this looks like skull and crossbones, but the skull looks so stop motion Nightmare Before Christmas-ish. Anybody else getting that vibe on the skull there? I mean, it's kind of silly and kind of what's the pointless. Although I suppose the Seaick tribe symbol there makes for a really nice mustache. Mustache? But what's kind of interesting is the Sawshark and Hammerhead Shark jaws conform hands, so I guess that's nice. Not that they ever really use those for that reason in the show, but just know you can kind of sort of do that. There's one other thing that kind of bugs me about this, though. Why were these put down here? I mean, aside from the fact that you've got 4 heads down on the legs. Okay, whatever. But here's my question. Why didn't they attach them to the sides of the arms? Now, that's not to say I can't do it and that you can't do it, but just, I'm kind of curious why officially they didn't do it this way. Maybe, I don't know, maybe the stuntman was so overburdened with the sword on his back and the the wings on the back that, well, maybe it was too heavy, too much for the guy to deal with. I don't know. But, or maybe, you know, pirate boots, they need to be a little more emphasized, and so that's why they put them down there. It's a very, I'm not crazy, it's kind of a peculiar way of, like, this is your first accessory mecha, and you're kind of going with pirates, but you're kind of half sharks, and I don't know. I said it earlier, it's not one of my favorites, but I'll get it, and I'm trying not to sound like a hypocrite here. Please understand this. I'm also looking for words. With like, why did I get this thing? Because I have Gosei Great, and yay for me, and I'm the CollectionDX Super Sentai reviewer, so I guess I'm kind of obligated to do it, to get them and review it. So that's pretty much the main reason why I got it. I don't know. I almost wish they'd put a beard on there, now that I think about it. That might have been, they put a captain's beard on there or something like that. The other thing, and this will be the last thing, the other thing I noticed is that during the transformation process, they make a point of having this covered, and then a little door or something, actually I think the door folds upwards to reveal the face. I'm fairly certain that there's some empty space back here that isn't used. Well, it is on the Gosei Blaster, but there's some empty space here. The least they could have done is have the face maybe flip around 180 degrees or something like that. You know, I mean, it would have taken up the same amount of space. It would have been too difficult to pull that off. Or maybe have this panel slide downwards to cover it, or slide up to reveal it. So that's something that I missed in the show. I mean, it's not like the shows always add a little bit of extra detail that isn't available on toys, so whatever. Oh, and by the way, I should point out, he's carrying 2 swords at once, but he could only use one at a time. I don't know, dual-wielding sword pirate? I suppose that goes with the whole pirates versus ninjas thing. Missed opportunity. But why is there a hammer? I want it to be a pistol. Yeah. Oh well. Meh. It's a resounding meh, I say. Although they did give it a nice kind of a cape look, sort of, so I guess that works. I mean, one piece is a thing nowadays, so they might as well, I guess. I'm starting to babble incoherently here, so I think this is a good place it goes up. And so, with a rather unenthusiastic meh, what else is meh but unenthusiastic? This is AV Unit 4A for CollectionDX.com, signing off.